Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, mañana, series Jesus, and Happy New Year, and welcome to 2023. And actually, wanted to jumpstart the 2023 with having you reminded of what are the biggest 12 big events that were gaming news world. And as you could imagine, this is not on any order of where the most impactful or the less. This is just a chronologically order, and this includes each 2022's month's top news starting from January to December. Just a quick note, most of the news are already being covered in the official blog of GGS, your social network for gamers where we talk and post only about gaming, no real life drama. Except from January to the first half of March, as around that time I was not the official blogger and was formally invited to join the staff during March and pretty much was using my own socials to report news. Links to these respective notes from March onwards are in the description. And with this, let's go! January, Microsoft enters into an agreement to buy Activision Blizzard. After months surviving every lawsuit due to their toxic and sexualized workforce, Activision Blizzard was on the fence to the point that began to talks about letting themselves be sold, and those talks were held reportedly since November 2021. And a surprising buyer came in the form of Microsoft at the third week of January, announcing its intention to buy the whole conglomerate of gaming studios and publisher. For some, and mainly those who want a CEO Bobby Kotick facing his due answering for allowing all the bad things that happen at the company, probably will never see it, as it is speculated that he will be ousted as CEO when the transaction closes with a big paycheck and probably a non-disclosure agreement. February, Valve dismissed Game Pass competitor rumors. There will be no Steam answer to Game Pass as a competitor, but Valve said that they are in the best willingness to work with Microsoft to bring Game Pass PC to Steam. That is that Gabe Newell, CEO of Valve, told back in February to PC Gamer that there is no being any interest at all to bring a Game Pass competitor, and they're in the best interest to reach an agreement with Microsoft. The truth is that it is not the first time that something similar has been heard, and rumors suggest that conversations with Microsoft have taken place, but apparently they're not advancing for unknown reasons. March, Athenesco closes its door. Athenesco was a popular and free service that via artificial intelligence you can have clips from live stream of popular multiplayers and battle royale games was announced to be shutting down in March. Surprisingly, their developer announces that they needed to close their service by the end of March, and while no rationale was shared, it is safe to speculate that they decided to go against monetizing the service via their user and probably failing to amass more capital to maintain the service alive. April, Konami announced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Cowabunga Collection. I really tried to refrain from going and including games especially for news, but I cannot deny that April was a hard one to choose, and actually that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is part of my childhood definition. While Konami is no longer not even one half of its former self, the Japanese company knows that nostalgia sells and announced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle The Cowabunga Collection, which include classic games including arcades and old Nintendo and Sega systems, and was launched for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch this year. May, Electronic Arts and FIFA will end their partnership after EA Sport FIFA 23. It was all over in the rumors and mills during spring of 2022 and finally became official. Electronic Arts and FIFA confirmed that after this year's EA FIFA 23, the partnership will end and EA will no longer have the exclusivity to make games with simulation of real life of teams and players. Despite the fact, EA will rebrand its main soccer game as EA Sport FC, and while this means that FIFA and probably some direct sponsorship will be no more beginning 2023 and onwards, traditional options like Ultimate Team, Career, Pro Clubs, and Volta will remain. June, Street Fighter 6 Go official. Using PlayStation's State of Play of June, Capcom finally presented the gameplay footage that was presented as Street Fighter 6, including 2 new fighters, and one of them is Jamie, who will be debuting the drunken fighting style on the Street Fighter franchise, and Kimberly, who appears to be a street punk with martial art knowledge. Street Fighter 6 will have a social networking aspect more in focus, first with the fighting franchise, including an open world using your customized fighter to interact with other gamers in the community. The game is slated for a 2023 release. July, Project Moon No More and enters Midnight Society's Death Drop. 2022 was a big year for Dr. Disrespect and his quest to feel actually good about the gaming industry in general, and took things on his hand and co-founded the Midnight Society, composed of Call of Duty and Halo veterans, and developing the first main game. And the main news of one weekend of July, it was with the first snapshot of what they call the third alpha piece of the game that is no longer Project Moon but Death Drop. And reactions did not wait actually to bomb the social media with the mixed reaction. And while Midnight Society assured that the snapshot and future ones represent a work in progress and no close to the final product, the game is now slated to be the next world's first vertical extraction shooter, which brought the immediate question that the game is no longer a battle royale as it was originally teased. August. Destiny 2 Lightfall will not be the last expansion despite Bungie working on a new intellectual property. It is not secret that Bungie have scheduled 2023 to present a brand new intellectual property, but nevertheless, we are due a new expansion on Destiny 2, and Lightfall is kind of a cyberpunk vibe for the Guardians, and this is Destiny 2 Lightfall. Destiny 2 Lightfall will launch on February 28 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, previously on Stadia but no longer launching on there, and PC, both on Steam and Epic Games. While initially it was believed that Lightfall would have been the last content that Bungie will be working on Destiny 2 to focus on the new intellectual property, Bungie confirmed that Lightfall is not the last one and they will be continuing bringing expansion and content to Destiny 2. September, Google gave up the gaming market and Stadia. After some empty promises, abusing and overhyping but under-delivering, and many projects that were in apparent development, Google, via Phil Harrison, announced that Stadia will be shut down on January 18, closing immediately the Stadia store at the announcement and beginning a massive reform program that definitely will have a dent in the next two earnings reports for Alphabet, the parent company of Google. Rationale was limited to saying that Stadia did not comply many of the goals that Google has on his participation of the gaming market. October, CD Projekt Red reveals its gaming development pipeline. In a strategy update presentation for shareholders back in October, CD Projekt Red revealed that we're actually cooking, and besides the first and unfortunately only expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 called Phantom Liberty, there are 5 new games in development. And this was important, as heading to celebrate the second anniversary of launch of Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red was in a race to finally give the game the proper state that it was supposed to launch. With this, the studio announced that they are working on Project Sirius, Project Polaris, Project Canis Majoris, Project Orion, and Project Hadar. Project Sirius is the first The Witcher game that will explore a new original story for fans and new audiences. Project Polaris, it is the new sequel trilogy that the original The Witcher games will gain, and the Poly Studio aims to release the second and third game in a 6 years interval after the launch of the first one. Project Canis Majoris was recently revealed to be the next-gen remake of the original The Witcher game, which completed overhaul mechanics, and all The Witcher announcement will forget the Red Engine in favor of Unreal Engine 5. Finally, the last two. Project Orion is the next Cyberpunk 2077 game, and there has been a confusion about if it is a spin-off or is a proper sequel. And last, Project Hadar is a new intellectual property that CD Projekt Red is still researching as of the end of 2022. November, Ubisoft reconfirms remaking the original Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell game. November 2022 was the anniversary of Ubisoft actually confirming that they are remaking Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell for next-gen consoles and PC, and they gave some details on the progress, including that it's being developed using the in-house Snowdrop graphic engine, the same one that was used on The Division 2, and currently being used on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora and Ubisoft's upcoming Star Wars games. Also, for those who know how the story develops, Ubisoft will be rewriting the story to have more original content and appeal to today's audiences. And before finishing with December top news, these are the honorable mentionables. December, Federal Trade Commission officially sues Microsoft to block the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Almost the first anniversary of Microsoft announcing its intention to buy Activision Blizzard, the main United States regulator and traditionally the one that settles these things of mergers and buyout between companies, has officially said no and challenged the legality of the transaction in a lawsuit that, if given in FTC's favor, will ban Microsoft to buying Activision Blizzard, as the FTC believes that Microsoft will gain an unfair advantage in the gaming industry. So let me know in the comments, what was your thought about 2022 in news in general, and for you, what could have been this top 12 list? Remember to hang out with me on the social medias, including Twitter, Mastodon Social, and Theta TV. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Health and success for you.